Guys, and welcome back to Chop's Garage. Now, I've done a sneaky bit of work off camera. Over the bank holiday I was in, and those of you on Instagram will know this, so if you want to get quick updates on what's happening at the garage, hop on the old Instagram. So yeah, over a bank holiday, because I'm going to be taking a bit of a break, I decided I needed to get the truck done and pictured, and I'd said to you guys that I was going to texture the edge of the bed. Well, I came in and did that. It was a lot of masking. I had the whole inside of the engine rear bed here masked, the sides of it masked, the back of the cab masked, obviously the edge of the roll bar masked there. What I did is I laid down a stone chip, and I've got quite a clean line actually. There's a couple of tiny little bits here that I might try and faff with, or might just leave alone, being too picky. But yeah, so I laid down, I cleaned it all, keyed it up with a scuff pad, then I lightly dusted it with stone chip, then a heavier coat of stone chip, and then I used a textured bumper paint. Now we were a bit unsure whether this was going to take. Marlowe's and I were a little bit unsure whether it'd take to the stone chip. So again, I dusted that on, and then lightly dusted it on, and then started to layer it up and layer it up. And what we've ended up with is a nice textured edge. And like I say, overall, we've got a pretty clean line all the way around the car. I did a lot of measuring up to make sure it was the same on both sides. Obviously, I started with the middle here. Before I started doing the edges, but it's just tidied all this up where it was all scraped and marked, tidied it all up, looks really nice. And as a lot of you said, now it will actually tie in with these black door handles here as well. All this will tie in quite nicely. So yeah, we'll get that finished off unmasked outside. I did my best to make sure I didn't get overspray anywhere, so fingers crossed when I take all this off it'll be okay. Need to get on to the Golf as well. So this was the Category N Golf I bought, and decided to start to fiddle around with trying to do the panel gap, and also found that there was a bit of rust on the arch here. So I need to get that done and get this up for sale. Now the only thing I haven't done on this car so far is I haven't done a report on it to see if I can find out what the damage on the vehicle was. When you sell these, it's always great if you've got a picture of what the damage was. So I need to try and find out if I can find a picture of that online. I also want to find out when this car was actually written off, what the date of the write-off was, so I know how long it was since all this has been on there. And also, that's the kind of questions I'm going to ask when people come to view the car.
Now, the service I'm going to use to check the Golf is Car Vertical. Now, I know you're going to say, James, this video is clearly sponsored by Car Vertical, which it is. But I have to say, I'd seen the product on other channels, and had always been a bit, dubious about it because I knew it was just getting promoted. I hadn't personally used it. Until a few of you started messaging me on some of the Category N cars I was doing and Cat S cars I was doing, and said, James, run it through Car Vertical. You may well find there's actual pictures of what the previous damage was on the vehicle. And I ran a few cars through Car Vertical, and I have to say it is, without a doubt, the best checking service I've come across. I was using other checking services that were a little bit cheaper, but the level of reporting on them was nowhere near the same level as Car Vertical. So when I started using it, I was blown away, and I can genuinely show you, look here, I've paid for all of these reports, and this all happened before Car Vertical even came to me. So when I checked my emails, and Car Vertical contacted me and said, James, we'd like to sponsor Chop's Garage for an episode, I had absolutely no problem doing it because I was genuinely using the product and think it's brilliant. So let me show you why I think it's brilliant. So guys, I've got one more check remaining on my account. I bought a couple last time, so this is genuinely me paying for this service. We're going to do a reg lookup on the Golf and see what comes back. So just pop the reg in, check the vehicle, and it's doing a report. Now, what I love about Car Vertical is clearly they've got some very clever techie people out there that have done a lot of hard work. And what I love about Car Vertical is it's clearly going out with his reg all over online, trying to find anything it can at all. It'll find me previous sales listings on sales sites. It'll find me pictures of it from auctions when it was crash damage, perhaps. If those pictures are out there at the auctions, it's going and pulling data from all over the place. It's pulling them from data from national registries on countries all over the world. It's pulling it from insurance companies, car manufacturers, car sales websites, like I say, crashed auctions. It's going out there finding so much data. So let's have a quick look at the report. It's not just a simple HPI check you get on a lot of the other sites. You can see here now it's running through a lot of different countries there to check any information it can. Checking through law enforcement to see if there's anything on regarding that. It's even checking workshops here, dealers, and this is the bit I like as well. It's going to go onto the car marketplaces next and see if it can find anything on there. Checking a lot of salvage sites and the classified sites. I found cars, previous listings for cars, and I found a car that I was looking at was for sale only 3 or 4 months earlier. I could see the price it was listed at. And obviously, with a check like this, if you do this even before you go and look at a car, you can save yourself a lot of time. You might find it was up for sale just a month ago, and now it's up for sale again. And you might want to know why that is. Obviously, you can find out if it's got any previous crash damage on it, if it was stolen, if it's got finance on it. It's just really, really detailed. So here we go. We've got the report back, and we can see at a glance, it's saying it can't see any discrepancies in the mileage. Can't see the vehicle was stolen, but it can see it's had an accident, and it doesn't have any finance outstanding on it. So if we keep scrolling down, spotted activity is an interesting list. It just picks up everything like MOT reports. You know, again, if you're going to go and see a vehicle in advance, I know you can get the MOT reports online, but this puts them all in chronological order for you nicely, easy for you to read. So you can get an idea of what things you should be checking when you go and see the vehicle. It gives you an idea of, here we go, we've got a registration plate change there. So if we've got any discrepancies coming back in, we know why it's that. Here we go, here we go. So we've got an accident 2017. Front bump has collision damage, near side wing has damage. So we knew that. It was the near side wing with that bit of corrosion on it. That's going to be that wing that was changed. The bumpers had damage, so we know exactly what to go and look at on the car. It also noted that there is some issues there that need to be done with the shock absorbers and brake pads. Again, it's recorded here 2017. You know, obviously it's gone through with its advisories, but the damage is still there. So at some point, someone's made a claim on it. Here we go. 2018, it's recognised this vehicle was damaged in this country. So you do wonder if what's happened now is it's gone through the MOT with the damage on it, but they decided actually now to make a claim on it. Interesting one, isn't it? And it's going through down here to the latest MOT, which was damaged, cracking or perished inner edge and an oil leak. Which, interesting, Phil found on the rocker cover. He's sorted that out for me. So now outstanding finance. It was never a driving school car. There's nothing on it about the police. Never used as a taxi. Now, I doubt we'll have the pictures of crash damage on this because obviously it wasn't actually put for a salvage auction by the looks of it. Nothing on any of those countries with the police side of things. The mileage ties in nicely. That's a nice clear graph there. Shows me the mileage ties in nicely. No problems with any of that. Just close that down a second. Yes, I would recommend it. It's brilliant. Damage record. Checked all those countries for that. Written off. There's a record on the 5th of the 6th, 2018, down as written off. So we know the date now for the write-off. Like I say, I've had other vehicles where it's actually pulled pictures from the salvage auction and showed me the damage. Approximate market value of the vehicle is 3,960. So it gives you a rough idea on value. I don't know where it pulls this data from. It says when the seller is a company, 5160. So retail, it's telling me 5160 retail. 4.9 after negotiations. So we know we're looking to sell the car for about 3.5. So we're well under that retail value there. Even goes through and gives us some of the spec sizes of things, the emissions, basic equipment. It tells you a checklist of things to check on the vehicle, recalls, that kind of thing, if you go and look at it. And some basic checks you want to do on any vehicle you might be buying. So genuine check on a genuine vehicle we needed to check there. I just find the level of data on Car Vertical just exceeds any of the other ones, and that is absolutely 100% genuine from me, guys. I was going to plan on showing you this anyway, to be honest. Obviously, the fact that Car Vertical have come along and sponsored this episode is fantastic, but I would continue to shout about this report anyway, regardless. It's just absolutely brilliant. Like I say, essential check to do before you even go and look at a vehicle. If you've recently bought a vehicle, maybe you might want to run this check on it, see what the score is on it. Now, Car Vertical are giving a 10% discount if you use my code that I'm going to give you in the description down below. They're giving you a 10% discount. I personally, now I know what a good service is, I've been buying mine in bulk because you get a discount if you buy them in bulk as well. So even if you just get a couple at a time, it's cheaper. But yeah, excellent report. Thank you ever so much to Car Vertical for sponsoring the episode, but more importantly, thank you for generating such a fantastic report and a fantastic service. It really does help car dealers like myself. So yeah, get yourself a check down below with a 10% discount. Support those companies supporting Chops Garage, but also do yourself a massive favour when you're looking at vehicles to make sure you go fully armed. So now with the Golf, we know where the damage was. We can confidently say where the damage was when we're speaking to people about it. We can confidently say when the car was written off. And as we know from looking at the vehicle, it's that front wing and that bumper. And now I can get on and tidy those things up and get it up for sale.
Now, I actually put some bids in on BCA last night because obviously I sold a lot of cars getting short of stock, and I've just had emails say I won one. Let's zoom in and see what this is because I can't remember what I bid on. So I've won a 1 litre Mitsubishi Mirage on a 2015 with 67,000 miles on it for 2547. Doesn't seem bad. It seems like that should be a 3995 on a 2015 all day long, doesn't it, really? I'll need to double check what it needed. I've got a feeling it needs some bodywork. We'll go back and have a quick look. My reasoning behind this was everybody says they've been dead and have been quiet and that prices are dropping. Now, obviously, I've been busy, sold everything, so I figured Monday, will there be some cheeky bids I can put in? I put everything in, as I remember correctly, I put everything with about 2k margin. So 2k between purchase and retail. So that must be, like I say, it must be something like a 4.5k car, something like that, I would have thought. So we'll have a quick look at it. So yeah, this is going to make you very happy. I know a lot of you, it's going to make you very happy when you get some BCA cars again, because you like to see me to have some troublesome cars as well, don't you, in amongst all the good stuff. So yeah, 2015, it's a grade 4, and it's got a assured report on it. So let's have a quick look. So, grade 4. I remember this needing some panel damage work, I think. Near side door dented, offside door dented. Obviously that can be minor or severe. We'll have to have a quick look. Yeah, it was the front wing, that was it. The front wing was the damaged bit. The rest of it were minor, but that front wing needed replacing. So we'll probably just try and find one the same colour on that and swap that over. That'll make life a lot easier. And then the assured report. Let's hope I haven't missed anything on that. Yeah, needed tyres doing, but it had no engine management lights. Engine started and it ran. Aircon was working, gearbox worked. So fingers crossed. I mean, they're tough little cars, these as a general rule. Done a few of these and they are tough little cars as a general rule. But as we know with BCA, half the game is seeing what actually arrives. So we'll get that paid up and get it booked in to get delivered. So the way we work out what the pricing is simply go into Auto Trader and pretend like we're about to advertise it. So we'll just bung it in there, and then it will give us, I've already checked that by the looks of it, but we'll run it again. It will give us a retail price. So that's a 0 road tax. That's another appealing thing about that in the current market. So a small 2015 with 0 road tax. So look, see what... it says the retail price is 4.3. So like I said, I want it at 2k margin, so I'm pretty much bang on where I want to be. Ideally, if we can, if the car's a decent car, we'll 3.995 it, because I reckon that'll sell quick as you like at that kind of price point. But it depends obviously how much work we need to do. It may end up only to be 4.495, depending on how much work needs to be done when we get it in. So if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below and you'll get to see whether we bought an absolute duffer or not. have a quick look at what bids I lost. Sorry, I should set up the screen recording, but I'm just doing this a bit quickly at the moment. Yes, I did have a cheeky bid on a supercharged Jaguar a little while ago. That's because it was a Cat N, and I thought it might go super cheap, but I only put in 2.5. It went for 3.9. I put a £2,100 bid in on a Mazda 2 1.3 because we know I like those, but I lost that at 2,550. So again, the prices aren't stupidly cheap. Look at this one. I bid 4.8 on an automatic Hyundai i10 with 20,000 miles. Went for 6,200. Prices haven't dropped, guys, especially for an automatic. I bid £700 on a 2010 Kia Rio, and it came in at 1,400. Now that car is 2010 like that, might be £2,500 at best. So that person with fees on top will be probably £1,600-1,700 by the time they get it back to themselves. 18-19 is a £500 margin in that. Prices haven't dropped that much, guys. They really haven't. Hyundai i10, I bid £1,100. It went for £1,500. So everybody's still working off £1,500 margins by the look of it. Obviously, I was trying to work off 2k margins, but everybody's still working off the same £1,500 margins by the looks of it. I don't see it being that differently. I mean, that is crazy. That is absolutely crazy money for that automatic Hyundai. So yeah, I don't see things have changed that much, to be honest. So subscriber power, a lot of you mentioned in the last video about the Mercedes window, saying that the reason that it wouldn't close the gap up was quite possibly because I disconnected the battery and I needed to do a relearn, and just to hold the button down, hold it for about 10 seconds, then put it right fully up to the top and hold it for 10 seconds, and lo and behold, it's fixed. And the guy knocked me down on price a little bit due to that, so I'm a bit annoyed with myself for that. But yeah, it would be a big positive for him, wouldn't it, to come and have that window issue fixed straight out of the gate. Surprising that the guy that had the Mercedes already, that came to look at this one, who seemed to worry about that quite a bit, didn't know that actually. But then again, I guess I didn't know it, and I own a Mercedes, so to be fair to him. Anyway, so this one hopefully is being picked up today. We've got the Suzuki Swift's gone down, that was here, down for its MOT. Phil's fitted me in first thing on that. As soon as that's back from having an MOT, he's going to service it for me as well, because I've got my VAT to get done. And we'll drop the i30 down for that to have its MOT, but it won't be able to go out very quickly because I've still got to track down this lower fog light for them. Right guys, we're going to lock up a second, nip down the road, because I've just had a call from the chap that used to have the units that does the house clearances. Turns out he hasn't quite moved up country yet, and he said he's got 2 more cars left here from house clearances and need to shift, which one is an XJ Jag and the other one is an X-type Jag. He says he knows they're not worth a lot, but if I want to put a bid on them, to come down and see him. And we know Mike up in Wales, he likes the old Jags, doesn't he? He's got a connection that sends them abroad. So let's go and check out, see if they're any good or not. Right guys, I'm back. I didn't waste too much of his time on that one because at the end of the day, both those cars were fairly rough. The XJ's actually, to be fair to the XJ, it just needed a bit of paint on the bumper and the wing mirror. Then it'd be actually quite good, because interior was good on it. But the X-Type, total rubbish. As in, it needs a lot of work. Sure, it could be a good car, but it needs a lot of work to be tied up. It won't merit the time on it. So I didn't want to take a lot of the guys' time up, because I knew my bids were going to be low. He assured me they run and drive, but both have got engine management lights on. The XJ has one for the knock sensor. That is the only code, and it is in restricted performance at the moment. He thinks the sensor itself might be completely faulty, but he also says it was parked where there was a load of rodents, and he thinks maybe some wiring's been chewed, so he could be chasing that forever and a day. He said the X-Type has got lots of lights, but that could just be to the low battery. We don't know for sure. Don't really want the X-Type. Quite like the idea of getting the XJ up and running again, because it's only done 50-odd thousand miles, and the 3-litre V6 is affordable to run. But the trick to getting it might be to put an offer in, a bundle offer for the 2 in, because no one's going to want the X-Type on its own. No one's going to want to buy that at all. So if I bundle the deal up, then perhaps I can do it that way. Always like to put an offer in, because someone's taking the time to get in touch with me, taking time to give me the offer of going and have a look at them. So I always like to put an offer in rather than just saying no.